question involves calculating the percentage of full load a transformer is carrying and determining how much additional unity power factor load can be added before it reaches full capacity. We have a 25 kVA transformer supplying a load of 12 kW at a power factor of 0.6 lagging. Firstly, we need to calculate the apparent power. Apparent power, denoted as S, is calculated by dividing the real power by the power factor. In this case, the real power is 12 kW and the power factor is 0.6. So, S equals 12 kW divided by 0.6, which equals 20 kVA. Secondly, we need to determine the full load of the transformer, which is given as 25 kVA. Thirdly, to find the percentage of full load the transformer is carrying, we divide the apparent power S by the full load apparent power and multiply by 100. This is calculated as 20 kVA divided by 25 kVA multiplied by 100, which equals 80%. Therefore, the transformer is currently carrying 80% of its full load. Now, let's move on to the second part of the problem, which involves determining how much additional unity power factor load can be added before the transformer reaches full load. At unity power factor, the real power equals the apparent power. We can calculate the real power at unity power factor that can be added by subtracting the current apparent power from the full load apparent power. This is calculated as 25 kVA 20 kVA multiplied by 1, which equals 5 kVA. Since the power factor is unity, this 5 kVA is equivalent to 5 kW. Therefore, an additional 5 kW of load at unity power factor may be added before the transformer is at full load. In summary, the transformer is carrying 80% of its full load, and an additional 5 kW of load at unity power factor can be added. Now, to elaborate further, let's discuss the concept of power factor in more detail. Power factor is the ratio of real power, measured in kilowatts kW, to apparent power, measured in kilovolt amperes kVA. It is a dimensionless number between 0 and 1 and indicates how effectively electrical power is being used. A power factor of 1, also known as unity power factor, indicates that all the power supplied is being used to perform work. A power factor less than 1 indicates that some of the power is being wasted due to reactive loads such as inductors and capacitors. A lagging power factor, as mentioned in the question, indicates that the current lags behind the voltage, which is typical of inductive loads such as motors and transformers. A leading power factor indicates that the current leads the voltage, which is typical of capacitive loads such as capacitors and some electronic devices. Improving the power factor can reduce energy waste, lower electricity bills, and increase the capacity of electrical systems. Power factor correction can be achieved by adding capacitors to the circuit to offset the effects of inductive loads. Now, let's consider the implications of operating a transformer at full load or beyond its rated capacity. Operating a transformer at or near its full load capacity can lead to increased heat generation, reduced efficiency, and a shorter lifespan. Overloading a transformer can cause it to overheat, which can damage the insulation and other components, potentially leading to failure. It is therefore important to ensure that a transformer is properly sized for the load it is serving and that it is not overloaded. In practice, it is generally recommended to keep the loading of a transformer below its rated capacity to provide a margin of safety and ensure reliable operation. This margin can help accommodate unexpected increases in load or variations in voltage. Furthermore, regular maintenance and inspection of transformers are essential to identify and address any potential problems before they lead to failure. This includes checking the oil level and condition, inspecting the bushings and connections, and testing the insulation resistance. Now let's delve deeper into the calculations involved in determining the transformer loading and capacity. The formula for apparent power S is given by S equals the square root of P squared plus Q squared, where P is the real power in kilowatts and Q is the reactive power in kilovars. The power factor is given by the cosine of the angle between the voltage and current waveforms. In the case of a lagging power factor, the reactive power Q is positive, while in the case of a leading power factor, the reactive power Q is negative. To calculate the reactive power Q, we can use the formula Q equals P multiplied by the tangent of the angle between the voltage and current waveforms. Alternatively, we can use the formula Q equals S multiplied by the sine of the angle between the voltage and current waveforms. In the given problem, we are given the real power P and the power factor, so we can calculate the apparent power S using the formula S equals P divided by the power factor. Once we have the apparent power S, we can calculate the reactive power Q using the formula Q equals the square root of S squared minus P squared. Now let's consider the case where we have multiple loads connected to the transformer, each with its own power factor. In this case, we need to calculate the total real power and the total reactive power of all the loads. The total real power is simply the sum of the real powers of all the loads. The total reactive power is the sum of the reactive powers of all the loads, taking into account whether they are lagging or leading. Once we have the total real power and the total reactive power, we can calculate the total apparent power using the formula S equals the square root of P squared plus Q squared. The overall power factor of the combined load is given by the total real power divided by the total apparent power. In a given problem, we are adding a unity power factor load to the existing load. A unity power factor load has a power factor of 1, which means that the real power equals the apparent power and the reactive power is 0. Therefore, adding a unity power factor load only increases the real power and does not affect the reactive power. This makes the calculation simpler, as we can simply add the real power of the unity power factor load to the existing real power to get the total real power. The total apparent power is then the square root of total real power squared plus existing reactive power squared. Alternatively, since the additional load has unity power factor, the additional apparent power is the same as the additional real power. So, the new total apparent power is simply the original apparent power plus the additional real power. It's important to remember that the transformer's kVA rating is a limit on the apparent power it can supply, not the real power. The real power a transformer can supply depends on the power factor of the load. Now let's discuss some practical considerations when working with transformers. Transformers are typically rated in kVA, which represents their apparent power capacity. The kVA rating is based on the transformer's ability to dissipate heat without exceeding its temperature limits. The actual load that a transformer can supply depends on the power factor of the load. A lower power factor means that the transformer must supply more current for the same amount of real power, which increases the heat generated in the transformer. Therefore, it is important to consider the power factor of the load when selecting a transformer. In some cases, it may be necessary to use a larger transformer than would otherwise be required to accommodate a low power factor load. Transformers are also subject to various voltage regulation standards, which specify the allowable voltage drop from no load to full load. Voltage regulation is important for ensuring that connected equipment receives the proper voltage. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or fail. The voltage regulation of a transformer depends on its design and impedance. Transformers with lower impedance typically have better voltage regulation. It is also important to consider the ambient temperature when operating a transformer. Higher ambient temperatures can reduce the transformer's capacity as it becomes more difficult to dissipate heat. Transformers are typically designed to operate at a specific ambient temperature, and exceeding this temperature can reduce their lifespan. In some cases, it may be necessary to direct the transformer's capacity if it is operating in a high-temperature environment. Now let's address the potential unfairness of the question, as the original poster mentioned. While the question tests technical knowledge related to transformers and power factor, its relevance to the essential functions of the promoted position should be considered. If the promoted position does not directly involve working with electrical power systems or performing detailed calculations related to transformer loading, then the question may be considered unfair. Competency tests should primarily focus on assessing the skills and knowledge that are directly relevant to the job duties of the promoted position. If the question is not directly related to the job duties, it may disadvantage candidates who do not have a background in electrical engineering or power systems. In such cases, it may be more appropriate to use a different or modified competency test that better aligns with the requirements of the position. Alternatively, the employer could provide training or resources to help employees develop the necessary technical skills if they are required for the job. If you feel that the question is unfair, you can consider the following actions. Firstly, contact the Human Resources Department or your supervisor to express your concerns. Explain why you believe the question is not relevant to the requirements of the position and how it may disadvantage candidates who do not have a specific technical background. Secondly, request a different or modified competency test that better aligns with the requirements of the position. Provide examples of the types of questions or tasks that would be more relevant to assessing your skills and knowledge for the job. Thirdly, seek support from colleagues or a professional organization to prepare for technical questions on power systems. Networking with other professionals in your field can provide you with valuable insights and resources to help you improve your technical skills. Remember, the goal of a competency test is to assess your ability to perform the job duties of the promoted position effectively. If you believe that the test is not accurately assessing your skills and knowledge, it is important to communicate your concerns to the appropriate parties. Lastly, consider that the question might be designed to assess problem-solving skills and the ability to apply fundamental concepts in a practical scenario, even if the specific technical knowledge is not directly used on a daily basis. In such cases, demonstrating a logical approach to solving the problem, even if the final answer is not entirely correct, can be valuable.